My bangs are like not even bangs anymore and I really need to get a haircut. That's coming soon. I wanted to film a really quick video talking about some of the books I'm really excited to finish up the end of the year. I have not made a TBR in a really long time this year. Honestly, the year has gone away from me and haven't found like a really good time to be recording regularly, but I have still been doing my wrap-ups, so I'm happy with myself about that. But yeah, I'm just feeling excited about the last little bit of books that I have with me on my cart that I have checked out that I want to finish before 2025 is over. So I wanted to just chat with you low-key about what some of those books are. Let's first do all of the nonfiction books and then we can do the fiction books. I don't think there are any graphic novels here and I don't think there are any kids books here actually. Right now I'm currently almost done with Unmask Alice. This is a nonfiction book about basically the uncovering of the scam that was Go Ask Alice and Jay's Journal, which were both written by Beatrice Sparks but were given to us, to the public, to readers as like diaries that were basically edited by someone, but they were like real stories. And come to find out, Beatrice Sparks has like lied about her credentials, lied about her education, lied about the way she came across these diaries, lied about how much she wrote and edited over them and included brand new things that had nothing to do with them. And it's a very interesting look at like 70s and then 80s culture. 70s with Go Ask Alice and like LSD and like drug panic, the war on drugs really starting. And the 80s with Jay's Journal, it's more like satanic panic and like how people were against Dungeons and Dragons and like anything having to do with the occult or thinking about those kinds of topics was very taboo. The writing is interesting. I think that's like my biggest question mark about the book as a whole, but I am entertained enough that I'm definitely gonna finish it. And then the other book that I'm about to start after that one, I already have it downloaded on audiobook, is The Carpool Detectives. I have to get to this one quick because it's definitely got a big holds list. I've been hearing interesting things about this book. It's supposedly for moms who uncovered through like their investigation some information about having to do with a true crime case. It's an attempt to solve a 15-year-old double murder. I also have one that I've had for a little bit but I haven't gotten to yet, and that's Misbehaving at the Crossroads by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. And this book is a look at Black womanhood and Black girlhood and womanhood, including obstacles of racially gendered oppression, the challenges of documenting Black women's ancestry, the adultification of Black girls, the irony of Black female respectability politics, talking about womanism and Black feminism, and resistance to white supremacy and patriarchy. I read the first page and it did seem modern enough because, I don't know, like from the cover, it kind of seems more history based, but it is kind of in present day and time. So I'm very interested in this one and read that one hopefully by the end of the year. I have two more nonfiction books to talk about. One is called Race Book, and this one is about like the history of the internet from the point of view of this author. So it's by the same author who wrote Riot Baby, which is a fiction book, and this one is memoir and essays that interrogates how identities are shaped and informed in online spaces and how the relationship between race and the internet has changed in 3 decades online. Sounds super fascinating. I hope that I enjoy it. I've been really loving memoir and essays this year for sure. I've read quite a few. So then the final book is one that has been one of my most anticipated nonfiction books of the year. I need to just unsuspend my hold and I'll be next in line, but it's Enshittification. And this is by Cory Doctorow, also connected to the internet and just in general how things have gotten worse over time on the internet. This identifies the problem and proposes a solution. The once glorious internet was colonized by platforms that made all but magical promises to the user. And initially it seemed to deliver on them, but once users were locked in, the platforms turned on them to make their business customers happy. Then the platforms turned to abusing their business customers to claw back all the value for themselves. In the end, the platforms die. I'm really thinking of like Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, I mean, Instagram isn't even fun anymore. I've had a very different relationship with social media and the internet in general in this year, so very curious to see what this book has to say on the topic as well. So now let's talk about my fiction books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 as well. The first one I have started, and I'm 25 pages into it. It's a really short novel in verse. It's Dreaming of You. I've been really interested in Melissa Losada Oliva's new book, so I wanted to like read some of her older fiction things before I read her new book. What is her new book called? I already forgot. Beyond All Reasonable Doubt, Jesus is Alive. And it's a book of stories. I have read from this author before. I read the poetry collection Peluda that she wrote, which was really good. It's all about hair and how it connects with Latin women. So Dreaming of You is kind of taking inspiration from Selena. I've been dreaming of you tonight. So every time that I look at this cover, that song gets stuck in my head. It's actually kind of quirky book, and I think it's gonna be, as I keep reading it, it's kind of a weird book, honestly. It's an absurd yet heartfelt examination of celebrity worship. A young Latinx poet grappling with loneliness and heartache decides one day to bring Selena Quintanilla back to life. So she starts a whole seance to bring her back. It's a weird book. We'll see what I end up thinking at the end of it. I've been really fascinated and interested in Tiffany D. Jackson's new book. I enjoyed Grown, which I read from Tiffany D. Jackson as my last book that she came out with. And this one, I feel like I'm drawn to her stories because they pull things from like real cases and real like news topics that interest me. So like Grown really pulled me when we were all watching the R. Kelly documentary and like learning about what was going to happen in that case. And so that's why I really enjoyed reading Grown. It was still twisting the story so it's not like full on like R. Kelly's victim stories, but it was still taking inspiration. So it's kind of like a rip from the headlines kind of book. And this is the same, but this one takes inspiration from the Sarah Lawrence cult that I also watched a documentary about that I was on Hulu, I believe. This one here, and it was a really, really fascinating documentary in particular because it had a lot of first-person found footage of the actual things that happened in that cult. For this book, where it is set in a college, and it's like a brother comes back or an uncle or something like that, and he takes on the role of being like a cult leader for these kids. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how she switches it up. I also really enjoyed Mahogany L. Brown's book that I read earlier this year. What was it called? Man, I'm really bad with titles. Chlorine Sky, which I really enjoyed. Novel in verse, and this one isn't a novel in verse, but it's still really, really short. I like that her books are kind of short and pack a punch. It looks like some of them are verses in verse. Oh, it's about the pandemic. Interesting. Will it ever be New York City perfect again? Hopefully I'm far enough removed that it will just be kind of falling into the storytelling and the writing. One that I've checked out, I've given back, I've checked out again, and here it is once again. I'm going to try to listen to it on audiobook. Holly Jackson's books are actually quite chunky, and like the text too, it's like tiny and not a lot of spacing between the lines, so I feel like her audiobooks help me. So funny because I was just talking about how teens are so drawn to covers with blood splattering on the cover. They really are just like asking for that all the time. So this one, I believe, is not connected to any of her current characters or series. It's about someone whose mom has been mysteriously disappeared for a long time. Oh, of course, there's a true crime documentary that Belle, the daughter, is having to take part of, and then her mom appears again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable because Belle isn't sure it's real. If Rachel's lying, then where has she been all this time, and could she be dangerous? With the cameras rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. I think I miscounted. I don't know how to count. I think it's 6 fiction books. I really want to read Deep Cuts, and I'm about to go read a little bit of this tonight. I do have the audiobook from Libra FM, and I've had it for a while. This has been kind of like on my list, but I was waiting for the holds for the physical copies to go down so that then I wouldn't have to keep like returning it and checking it back out. I'm really excited about this because it focuses on music. I would say my journey as like a music lover has expanded so much since the pandemic. I feel like It's one of my main like excitements in life is new music, listening to new music, playlisting and reliving like old music, going to concerts. Like it's been a really big part of my life. And so this book excites me because of how much of a role music plays in the storytelling. I believe it's kind of like a romance love story, or like people who are entangled in their college days, that their relationship continues in forever. Like they're always going to be connected. It's set in the 2000s, and I read the first couple pages and I really like the writing so far. Hopefully it's a great one. I'm really wanting to like seal off the year with a really good adult fiction title. And then last but not least is a book I don't have, but it's also almost ready for me on audiobook, and that's Culpability. This is by Bruce Holsinger. This one could be one of those books that is like so hyped that it's not gonna deliver. That's like what I've been feeling lately about it. So it's basically about a family who is in a car when they get into an accident. It's set in the Chesapeake Bay, and it's about moral responsibility in the age of AI. When the Cassidy Shaw's autonomous minivan collides with an oncoming car, Charlie, who's a 17-year-old, is in the driver's seat with his father in the shotgun seat. In the back seat, Alice and Izzy, who are twins, are on their phones, and their mother, who is a world leader in the field of artificial intelligence, is absorbed into her work. Yet each family member harbors a secret that implicates them in the accident. So it's a big family drama exploring all of these things. And it did end up being selected to be an Oprah Winfrey book for her book club. So interesting. I wonder if it actually will deliver for me. Those are some of the books that I'm excited to read as the year wraps up. It's almost time for the end of the year and like best of lists. And I'm hoping to get just a few more books in to be in contention for my best of list. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought of them, like which one you think is gonna work for me. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. It's pretty fun to film TBR than it is a wrap-up, I feel like.